A 1-ton payload, a 3.5-ton towing capacity, and proven durability. In recent years, these have been the pillars of success for the Isuzu DMAX in Australia. Now for 2020, Isuzu has given the DMAX a total overhaul aimed at broadening its appeal. That includes this bristling new interior. Let's see if the 2020 DMAX lives up to the brief.
The third generation DMAX arrives in Australia as the first new model since 2012, offering an updated engine, transmission and styling, plus a stronger chassis and suspension package. The DMAX family comprises 20 variants across single cab, space cab and dual cab models, plus 4x2 and 4x4 drivelines. Prices have increased by at least $1,900 over the predecessor, and Isuzu has deleted the previous LST flagship, making way for a new X-Terrain model that is $8,100 dearer and crowns the new DMAX lineup. Underbody changes are significant. A new ladder frame chassis that will be shared with the upcoming Mazda BT50, a 30mm longer wheelbase, and a new suspension platform with independent front and stronger 3-leaf springs at the rear.
When you put all those elements together on the road, it's a huge step forward for the DMAX. It's quieter, it's more refined, and generally more civilised and less truck-like than before. The steering's light in the hands but weighs up nicely through corners, almost similar to the tuning of the steering in the Ford Ranger, and the body feels composed during changes in direction. Now sure, you still get some of that juddering through the chassis as typical of a dual cab ute, but the proceedings in this new model are chalk and cheese with the DMAX that many people know and love.
Ultimately, the DMAX can't quite take the edge off imperfections as effectively as segment leaders, but it is a huge improvement nonetheless. Powering the entire DMAX range is an upgraded 3-litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder with 10 kilowatts and 70 newton meters more than its predecessor, with power and torque available across a wider bandwidth of revs. In the X-Terrain, drive is shuffled via a 6-speed automatic transmission with an electromechanical rear diff lock and a 2-speed transfer case.
Now Isuzu calls this engine all new, but it does bear a lot of the character traits of DMAX models from the past. It makes power and torque in a really linear fashion, and the gearbox does a good job pulling away from the lights and getting you up to speed. At highway speeds, the engine spins at about 16 or 1700 RPM and just mills away really seamlessly in the background. When you do lean on the engine a little bit more, you get that signature Isuzu clatter through the cabin. It's not bad in any way, but it's not quite as polished as what you get in the segment benchmark models.
Happily, the DMAX retains its signature 3.5-ton towing and 1-ton payload, but it takes a huge step forward in cabin presentation and fit-out. With softer contact points, a sharp new centre display and driver instrument cluster, plus rear air vents. In fact, our main interior gripe was the location of the top tether child anchorage point, a bugbear for anyone regularly ferrying kids. There is also a step change in safety, with a segment-first centre airbag, autonomous emergency braking, forward collision warning, and much more.
There's no doubt that all those systems are great to have on board. If anything, they're probably a little bit too overzealous in their application. The forward brake collision warning comes on fairly consistently when you're in heavy traffic, and the speed sign warning as well will catch you out even if you're a kilometre or so above the speed limit. But even so, this is the new guard for the DMAX, and it's great that it has the latest safety system. There goes one of those speed things again.
We're yet to take the new DMAX off-road, but an increased 800mm wading depth, higher 240mm ground clearance and additional axle travel all bode well. It means the more expensive new DMAX does successfully charter new ground, but without compromising its formidable foundations. In a tightly fought utility segment, the new DMAX continues to punch above its weight.